Hello everyone, this is Krista and welcome to the Feminine Takeoff. Today I am at work, I am at a car show. I don't know if you see behind me. I think I'll take a little separate video later. So I have my chopstick and I'm having my soup in my travel work crock pot. But I dedicated myself to make these videos, so it's the only time I can squeeze it in. I've been so busy, I've been so tired, working nonstop, but I really think that whenever I dedicate myself to do something, I will make sure it is done no matter what. Today's video is actually about princess treatment, so let's get started. So before I begin, let's define princess, right? And when I use the word princess, I don't mean just, some spoiled person saying like, I need this, I need that, I need that purse, I need that, right? Yes, you can have entitlement, and that's a different topic, right? But there's nothing wrong with being entitled, but that's another point in the topic, so I don't want to get too invested inside of it just yet. But anyway, to begin, let's define princess, right? When you think of a princess, not the new age social media thing. I don't have Instagram, I am not on social media, but not just this vain, substanceless way of saying I am princess, right? When you think of an actual word princess, what is a princess? A princess is a very diplomatic person. A princess usually even captures the king's heart. The king can be really strict on the queen or have responsibility that is required from the queen. But with the princess, she can get away with a little bit more. She can even get away with murder if she's tactful about it. So that's why I love saying princess. I don't like referring to myself as queen or anything like that. And I also think queen is a title that you earn, right? Just like how men have to earn being a man in manhood, in tribes, in societies before. Being a man is earned, being a king is earned, right? So we also must earn being a queen, or you become into your queenness, right? But your princess, you also cultivate it, but it's I don't want to say it's a lesser title, but it's a more flexible title to begin with. So not literally, but metaphor in the act of a metaphor. Metaphorically, I think, right? Metaphorically, what does a princess represent? A princess is diplomatic. What does a princess do? A princess has quality hobbies. She is well educated, so she's well read, well versed in culture, in society, and so on and forth, right? So when you say like, oh, I am a princess, he has to treat me like a princess, what are you doing? What have you cultivated yourself to claim this title, right? Are you diplomatic? Do you speak with tact? When we think of, for example, Princess Diana, there are other princesses across the world. Africa has many princesses and so on and forth. But I'm just going to use Princess Diana as an example here because she is known as the people's princess, right? So when we think of Princess Diana, people love her. She's tactful, she's well spoken, she's well versed, she's diplomatic also. She has a big diplomacy and she knows how to talk to people, how to approach certain situations. Of course, she's not perfect, right? Nobody is. But just think of that when we think of princess. Instead of saying, okay, you have to spoil me, buy me all these things. Of course, a princess is spoiled, but that is the bare minimum. That is the tip of the iceberg in the layer of the sub-layer of the ocean, or what it means to be a princess. Forgive me, my camera is a little slanted, so I'm gonna correct it. Otherwise, it's gonna drive me crazy. But anyway, so let's keep that in mind. What does a princess mean to you? And when you say I am princess, I have princess energy, what have you done to cultivate that tangibly, right? If a person says I'm a king, you ask, well, where is your kingdom? What have you built for yourself as a man? When a person says I'm a man, what you see his work, you see his labor, right? So when we say I am a princess, well, what have we built? And I know that might come across as rude or bold, but you really have to ask yourself this, right? Being feminine, we don't get to we don't get to have demands, or it's not fair, and it's not how can I say, it is not solid. It is not, as women, it is not solid to claim titles that we ourselves cannot maintain, we ourselves do not know the meaning of. Why? Because if you claim this title and you cannot maintain it and you do not know the meaning of it, you will attract jokers, clowns in king costumes, and they will play you like a fool. So, hello. So back to what I was saying. Forgive me, I got interrupted. Someone walked in in the middle of the conference room while I was making my video. But back to what I was saying. If you call yourself princess and you have not cultivated yourself and understood why you're calling yourself this, you will attract clowns or jokers in king costumes who will play you like the clown you might be. Okay, and again, as a feminine entity here with Feminine Takeoff, we don't just say empty words, we live it. We live and mean everything we represent and say that we are. So let's get started with point number 1. Point number 1 is have tangible proof that you've cultivated yourself as a princess. What kind of hobby does a princess have? Does she go horseback riding? Does she go fencing? Is she into arts? Does she do pottery? Does she sing? Does she dance? Is she poised? How does she talk to people? So on and forth. What do her hobby? Look it up. Google what are the responsibilities of a princess, or what kind of hobbies does a princess have? Okay, and cultivate that. You might not like horseback riding, so don't. Then maybe you like bike riding. Okay, you can be the modern princess. You don't have to do the old school way, but you must have substance as a woman overall. If we demand men to have substance, to be providers, to show up as a quality, we need to be able to reciprocate that quality, right? We can't say, for example, I love a luxury lifestyle, okay? I like nice dinners, I like nice traveling when I'm traveling, I like flying first class, I love flowers, I love all of these things. First of all, if you do not cultivate yourself and have tangible proof of your hobbies, when you meet a guy who actually is living that lifestyle, what's going to happen is you're going to get embarrassed. When he takes you to this fine dining place, you don't know how to use utensils. You're gonna feel embarrassed. You're gonna have a chip on your shoulder because you haven't cultivated table manners. You haven't done anything that can even hold your presence, hold your spot in the rooms that you expect people to bring you into, right? So keep that in mind. And I wrote here, yes, have tangible proof you've cultivated yourself as a princess. And also, without proof, anyone can walk in with money, with cash, or with a resource, okay? It doesn't have to be cash or flowers, whatever it is that you require, or with a designer bag. Anyone, a joker can walk in with a stack of cash, with a Chanel bag, or whatever, dangling in your face because he knows you are also playing a facade, just as he is, right? And he can dangle it in your face, and you will fall victim to his tricks, and you will be embarrassed, again, like the clown you truly are, unfortunately. Not you, not us feminine ladies, but hypothetically, right? Someone who has not cultivated their princesshood, right? So that is point number 1. Point number 2, I want to say it's in the movie The Woman King. I don't want to butcher this, but so I will paraphrase it. I haven't had too much time to again just write this quote by quote, forgive me, but in Woman King, in the movie, there was a part where the king was interacting with the trader, the man who came in to trade with him, and he said something along the lines as, I am king, whether or not you respect me as one, or I am king whether or not you see me as one. Something of the sort. Okay, please don't quote me on this, but it is, I'm paraphrasing, this is the idea of something like he said. And so I'm quoting that because what I mean to say with that quote is, those who don't respect you as a princess, remove them. Just because someone doesn't see you as a princess, just because they think that your kingdom, your princessness is princess of the slums, or what you have is what you have, right? Whatever they see you are, but they don't see you or respect you as, it doesn't mean you're not it. It just means they don't see you as it. Quickly remove them and dismiss them, because if you don't, it will chip at your confidence. It will chip at your confidence. Okay, if it's gonna chip at your confidence, and then what happens, you're gonna start lowering those standards you have. But if you have tangible proof, again back to point number one, that you are a princess, you respect yourself as a princess, what is gonna happen when a joker comes, or not even a joker, it could be a king of another kingdom, but maybe he just simply doesn't respect you as a princess? Well, you don't lose your princesshood, but you can say, you know, thank you for your time. It doesn't seem like our visions are aligned. I'm going to have to dismiss you. You don't maybe have to tell him I'm going to have to dismiss you, but just energetically dismiss him. Just say, please excuse me, I'm not feeling well. If you're at dinner with him, please excuse me, I'm not feeling well, I'd like to go home. Or unfortunately, I have to work early, I have to go home. Or sometimes you don't even have to give an excuse. Thank you for your time, I'd like to go home. If you feel unsafe, don't tell someone you feel unsafe around that you have to leave them. Just leave. Find a way to leave. Don't ever show up to a date without knowing how to get back home, without having money for Uber to get back home, a cab ride, or whatever. Okay, if he's a gentleman initially and he picks you up, then you have to know, I need to be able to get out of this if he ends up not being who he says he is, or who he is initially showing himself as. Okay, that is your duty as a woman, to know how to protect yourself, or to be in an environment of which you are protected. As a feminine woman, this is super important. Okay, so back to it. If someone does not respect you as a princess, quickly remove them and deprive them of your regality, of your regalness. If you comport yourself with poise, if you show up as the best version of yourself and you say, I am princess, or this is actually not even something you should say. You don't walk around saying I'm princess. Like I'm a contractor, okay, so I have different bosses, I work with different companies, but over time, as people get to know me, even my bosses call me princess, okay, and they don't mean it in a demeaning way at all, but it's just the way I comport myself, the way I carry myself, the way I speak to people. Even when I'm upset, I could be upset, fuming. It took me a really long time to learn how to control my emotions, and I think it's natural as a woman, as a young woman. If you're not taught those things at an early age, of course you'll fall short, right? But it took me a really long time to comport. I was always feminine, I was always classy, but to maybe refine myself, right? But after doing the hard work, the inner work, people literally will walk up to me and bow to me, or call me princess. Sometimes they'll even call me queen, and I'll giggle. You know, I'm not gonna say, well, I'm not, you know, whatever, right? But anyway, if someone doesn't respect you as what you're presenting yourself as, quickly dismiss them. Let them go find the other people they can respect, or let them see that there's a jungle out there. They'll come back crawling to you, and you can simply say, thank you for your time, but this is no longer something I want to entertain. Don't let anybody play you twice, and don't ever let anybody disrespect you twice. If you must, you only take apologies and actions. He has to pay for that, okay? And I don't mean tangibly with money. Not even even friendships, relationship, business relationships. Do not let anybody play you twice and get away with it. Anyway, and also, ladies, remember, this is an abundant world. There are how many? About 7 to 8 billion people in the world, okay? Let's just say 1% of that population are men who you desire, who are your type, who hold the standards you want a man to hold. Well, if 1% of 7 to 8 billion people is still a lot of people. It's like millions, right? So if one person, if you find yourself in an environment where one person or a group of people don't see you as who you present yourself as or who you are, you don't have to deal with them and say, okay, well, I'm around animals in this jungle, so I guess I should settle for the animals. No, continue to hold your standards, continue to treat yourself as, and move. Go around. You know, a bottle of water at the airport, well, they will charge you. I've been charged $12 before for a bottle of water, a small bottle like this. $12. That same a small bottle, I've been charged $1 or $2 at the dollar store for it. Okay, so if you're not being respected as who you've cultivated and work hard and show yourself up as, leave the environment and don't let someone lower your confidence and lower your standards for that, because otherwise you're gonna think it's okay. Otherwise, what is the point, right? Okay, so and also remember, again, out of those 7 to 8 billion world population, there is at least one person, one man, or whatever you like, right? One person who will respect you, kiss the ground you walk on. And as you notice, as feminine women, as we're doing our inner work, as we're pouring into ourselves, cultivating ourselves, men are going to start coming in from the woodwork, all racist types. They're gonna come. You won't be able to beat them, chase them away with a stick or a broom if you wanted to. Okay, quality people exist. That which is like itself is drawn. If you are a woman and you are doing your inner work, what is that law? Everything that which is like itself is drawn. There's no such thing as one atom, the rarest atom, and there's only one of his type. Every atom has a friend. Every atom has something similar to it, and they all bond together, or they all find each other, right? Through like osmosis, right? It leads from least concentration to most concentration, or something like that. I forgot biology class. Anyway, so remember that, okay? There are people out there, especially men, if you're a feminine woman, who are craving femininity. They are like praying for it. There are men out there who are trying to get their money up, who are trying to get their spirituality up, who are trying to show up as their best versions, just as we are trying to show up as our best version. So what? We're going to attract them. We're being the reciprocal of those best people, and they want to love you. They want to provide for you. They want to take care of you because they're looking for you. So believe that. If you're in the jungle, you can. A clown, an animal is showing himself as who they are. Leave. Go to the city, go to the countryside, go to the south, go anywhere where you can find that gentleman, that king for you, because they exist. God doesn't give us ideas. God is not cheap. Okay, so God doesn't give us ideas and put things in our head just to torture us. He's our father. A good father, which God is, does not punish his children. Maybe we have free will, we have lessons we need to learn, but he's not sadist. He's not a sadist, and he's like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna make her cry today. That's not what our heavenly father does for us. If anybody tells you otherwise, they're lying to you. Okay, so point number 3. Okay, so point number 3 is very important. It goes back into what I was saying earlier. Point number 3 is about entitlement. Point number 3 is about entitlement, okay? So in this world where people say, don't be entitled, right? You are not entitled to this. I'll tell you guys a funny story. So I traveled a lot for work. So because of that, I fly, right? I fly with different airlines. Other airlines, so American, Delta, so on and forth, right? There are, how can I say, as you are flying with more airline, you join a loyalty program. right? So one day I got a credit card from an airline, and when you get the credit card, you get boosted with points, and I think you get a status boost, right? But the bare status was what you get boosted as, and as you travel more, you earn more status and more perks, right? So one day I called the airline because I needed to have a change. I think I wanted to upgrade my flight from like economy to first class or something like that, using my points, or I think at the time my account was so new that I couldn't just automatically get bumped, or I just didn't have the tier yet. So I was talking to the representative, and again, this is a special phone line, so it's not like you call the customer service and you're talking to some rude person. These people are designed to talk to their specific tier group loyalty members, right? So, and I'm a rookie, right? I think I was really young, early 20s. So I'm, saying I want to upgrade my flight, and I think I asked her a question like, can I use this amount of points, or why don't I get automatically bumped to this first class because I have the card? What's the point anyway, right? And she said to me, you're not entitled to this. And I got offended. Because I didn't understand that, right? Because there are tiers to entitlement, and she didn't mean to offend me. So, and also I am very soft-spoken, but I'm also very outspokenly soft-spoken. So what that means is, if I don't like something, I'm gonna respectfully and diplomatically say, hey, what do you mean by that? Or that hurt my feelings. So that's exactly what I did. I said, that really hurt my feelings when you say you're not entitled to that. And she said to me, forgive me. I don't mean to disrespect you. I didn't mean to insult you. It's just that as you advance and progress into the tiers of your membership, I think I had gold, and I think maybe platinum needed. I needed, for what I was requesting, you had to be platinum to get that entitlement, right? And so she said, this is your status. As you earn your steps into the membership, then you will be entitled to more perks. And I didn't get offended. Had I not even asked that, I would have just let that simmer in and say, oh my God, maybe she's racist. No, I wouldn't say that. But these are things, normal things that we think of that are limiting beliefs. Having limiting beliefs are normal. Our brains automatically think negatively, right? But for me to speak up politely, and also had I said, what do you mean, she would have just replied back rudely. But because I took time to respectfully and tactfully say, what do you mean by that? That really kind of upset me a little bit. Will you elaborate? She took time to explain to me the benefits that I would earn as I cultivate my membership. You guys see where I'm going here? So entitlement, as you cultivate, let's say you took time, right? Guys, I am so busy. I have not had a day off in weeks. Now, I'm not glorifying overworking yourself. I don't think that's good, but I have some things that I really need to take care of in this time frame of my life. So I really have to do some things. But anyway, as I'm so exhausted, but what do you see? My manicure is done, okay? My hair might look a little dry and crazy, but I'll figure it out. The lighting is also very bad in here, so I promise I don't look as bad as I'm looking on camera. It's just the lighting is poor. I didn't bring my proper lighting equipment because I'm at work. It's heavy. It's a long story. But anyway, I took time to put my makeup on, to cultivate myself, my speech, okay? English is not my first language. It's not my second, nor is it my third. It is my fourth fluently spoken language. So again, sometimes I miss my plural sounds. I'm still rusty with it. I'm a rookie. I'm learning, right? But I take time to learn words, to cultivate words. I can say greetings in about 10 to 14 different languages, okay? Because, I work with people and I like language. But I took time to learn something. If I'm speaking to a Japanese person, for example, I like to say Ohayo gozaimasu, or whatever. if I'm speaking to someone who is Arabic, I can say salam alaikum. Just learning to respect and learn different cultures. So as I've taken time to cultivate myself, as busy as I am, if my nail lady is not available, I will do my own nails. If my hair person is not available, I will try to fix it myself. As we took so much effort, tangible proof. In one of my previous videos, I mentioned femininity needs tangible proof to have confidence. I've taken so much time and energy, despite the little bit of it that I have, to develop proof of being feminine, proof of being cultural, proof of having knowledge. Someone cannot just come and say, give me your time, let me take you to coffee for free or with low effort, and I'll say, okay, let's go. No. Also, people ask me out a lot. I come through waves of like being asked out depending on how busy I am, depending on the energy that I'm exuding. But for example, the other day, 5 different people but I work in shows, so I'm around a lot of people. 5 different people asked me out on that same day. Okay, so not only did I have to ask, okay, how do I vet these people? Okay, sometimes I would ask, give me 3 reasons, 5 reasons, 10 reasons why I should give you my number. If one of the 5 people say, why I don't have to do that, I remember asking a guy that, like, you want to get to know me, you want to court me, I didn't even say 5 or 10, I said, give me 3 reasons why I should give you my number. And he's like, well, I'm an engineer, and if you, why should I give you 5 reasons? You give me 3 reasons. Quickly, I dismiss him. I said, thank you so much, but I'm actually really busy right now. I have to get back to what I'm doing. So that just saved me time to focus on the 4 other people who want to court me. That just saved me time to focus on the 4 other available suitors who want to court me, who want to take me out. Okay, imagine had I given this guy my number, had I not felt entitled to my worth after all my cultivations, had I just said, oh, okay, let me be nice and give him my number, he would have probably offered to take me out for drinks or coffee. And then I would have lost exposing myself to maybe my potential future husband. I would have lost even maybe a prospective business partner. I would have lost a great opportunity because I didn't have entitlement. So entitlement is good. Just remember to use tact. I'll give you an example. Rolls Royce does not feel bad and say, oh, I know my worth, but I feel really bad because society doesn't want me to be entitled. Society wants me to be humbled. So after all my R&D, all the investments that people have invested in me, I'm going to just let people drive my Rolls Royce, my vehicles for free, and I can even let them take it home with no investment, no commitment, because I should not be entitled. You think Rolls Royce is gonna say that? Think again, my sister. Think again. No. Rolls Royce is gonna, before you even get allowed to view the vehicle, to go to the dealership, it needs to know it's your driver's license, or it needs to maybe even be referred. Okay? You have to either be invited to even view the vehicles. I worked for a company recently. They're a private jet company. I won't say the manufacturers, just for privacy and professional reasons, but they sell $26 million jets minimum. That's the base price of the aircrafts that they sell. And people come and say, oh my God, can I just come take a peek inside of the aircraft? And they say no. They say, do you have an appointment? Are you on the wait list? Do you have previous jets that you've purchased from us? No? Okay, please get on the wait list. And if we have any openings, if we're letting people in, we will call you. We will contact you. Okay, they won't let you even look at the jets to take pictures in it. So that's how you feminine ladies have to comport yourself. After taking so much time, effort, resources, money, investments from your parents, from either a previous partner, from your friends, from your boss, your work is investing in you. Your work paying you every day. Your work giving you lunch, free lunch when they don't have to. Your work giving you perks every day. That is other people investing in you. Are you gonna just take that investment and give it away for free? No. So Rolls Royce doesn't. And you know, Rolls Royce, I was reading this a few months ago, so forgive me if this information is rusty, but Rolls-Royce manufactures about 4,800 or a little under 5,000 vehicles every year. Okay, and usually those manufactured vehicles already ordered, they're already spoken of. Okay, they're not making millions and millions of it. So remember that as a feminine lady, you are in high demand. Okay, there are only a small amount of you. Heck, even smaller vehicle manufacturers who produces millions upon millions of vehicles, they also have standards. You cannot go to a regular car dealership that's non-luxury and say, oh, let me just drive the car. They still need to see your driver's license. They still need to either check your credit for you to take the car home. They still need to see the money on the table. Okay, so see yourself. Now, I'm not saying, you know, put monetary values on yourself only, but you must have a standard. And don't be, you know, be modest, but, you know, just say, don't say, oh, I have to be humble because society told me to, otherwise I'm bad, I'm coy. No, you spend time doing research. I promise you, if Rolls Royce or any brand, any luxury brand, forgive me that I say Rolls Royce, it's one of my dream cars. My favorite is the Spectre. So, and I'm at a car show, so maybe that's why I'm thinking about cars. But at the SEMA actual show, let me show you. So it's all cars around me, but we can talk about that later. But anyway, if a luxury manufacturer allows you, a random person, to come into their showroom or to come and take their vehicles and do whatever with it, the people who are paying top dollar for that vehicle, they're gonna start saying, wait a minute, this might not be luxury. Imagine if you have a man who is courting you and you have all these rules and regulations, like I don't pick up phone calls after sundown, or I don't know, I can't kiss on the first date, or I can't sleep with you without marriage or commitment, or whatever your standards are. If you're telling this man, this high quality man who's spending his effort, his hard-earned money, maybe not hard-earned, but he's earned money, or, you know, his effort on you, and then he looks around the corner, he looks around social media, and you are just mingling with little yo from down the street, or little whatever, and that little yo is treating you badly, and you're crying and creating cortisol in your body for them, they're gonna say, oh my God, I am putting myself at risk mingling with this woman. I have to go, I have to drop her. I can't deal with this. You know, this is scary. Now his safety is on the line, and they're not gonna want to deal with that and tolerate that. So if you, a luxury car manufacturer, I promise you, if they drop their standard, drop their entitlement, their top paying clients are gonna drop them as well. Keep that in mind, ladies. Okay, forgive me, I'm rambling a little bit, so I need to go to the next topic, because otherwise my break is gonna be over soon. Anyway, and I have to finish food in my crock pot. Forgive me, I'm not wearing earrings. I usually do, but I was so tired last night that when I woke up, I think I slept only 3 hours. So I am struggling, ladies. I'm struggling, but we're gonna use what we have to figure out what we can. So topic number 4 is treat yourself like a princess. Oh, one more thing, back to the manufacturer. I work with cars, right? So sometimes, let's say I would see someone walk past, you know, a luxury vehicles manufacturer's car and say, $300,000 for this car, that's too expensive. Or someone can even say like $80,000 for this truck, that's too expensive. Or $30,000 for this vehicle, that's too expensive, right? But to whom? So if your standard is, you know, I can't kiss on the first date, or I can't give you my body, or give you something without any investments, safety, a commitment, acknowledgement in front of my family, God, or whatever, and they're like, that's too expensive, well, you ask yourself, to whom? Because someone who is on the wait list for their Rolls Royce, for their Bentley, for their BMW, or for their luxury Toyota, for their luxury Lexus, that person is not gonna say, oh, it's too expensive. They're gonna be like, that's it? Here's double. Really? With the engine like that? You have what horsepower? You were manufactured in what country? You speak what languages? You do what hobbies? You're cheap. You should up your price a little bit. I'll just give you extra just because, So there are people in this world who will see you as your worth and even think it's little, and they would want to augment you. Stick around to those people. Okay? You don't have to cheapen yourself out. Of course, do the work, but you do not have to cheapen yourself out. So back to point number 4. Point number 4 is treat yourself like a princess. The standard you demand, know how to maintain that for yourself. So when you meet somebody who's giving you less, you run for the hills. I have this bad habit, right? I don't know if I should say this just in case someone I date knows this. I don't want them to know, but I love flowers. I adore flowers. When you guys see my videos, when I'm traveling, I go to the grocery store and get my cheap flowers or roses or whatever I can get, I go and get them for me. Right? I was previously in a relationship. All 3 of my previous engagements bought me flowers and actually put me on flower delivery. So one of them actually, when I traveled, they would call the hotel, call a florist, and have flowers delivered into my room. No matter how expensive, high-end, or how low-end the hotel is, they will call and deliver flowers to my room. Okay, so I have this bad habit. If I'm dating someone, after 5 dates, if they don't get me flowers, I have an idea of where to place them, because that means first they're not listening to me. Because if I see flowers and I'm like, oh, I love flowers, or what are you doing? Nothing, just cutting my flowers, and you don't think, wow, she seems to love flowers, let me get her flowers, that means you're not listening to me. That means you're not trying to impress me. That means they're not trying to court me. So what am I gonna do? Put them on the last place of my rotation, or demote them, right? So keep that in mind, ladies. Treat yourself like the standard. So if I get myself flowers, if my apartment has fresh flowers, if the standards of people I've entertained before or decide to entertain in the future, maybe you don't have that experience, so this is why you get yourself that experience, a little bit of it, right? Let's say you want to have a partner who takes you shopping and buys you nice gifts, but what if you can't afford that $10,000 Chanel bag? I'm not saying break your savings or go steal the money to get the bag, but the little bit of bag you have, even if you bought it at Walmart or Target, wherever, even if you made it with your hands crocheted, like use crochet to make the bag, if you treat it nicely, take care of it, whoever's entering your life can say, wow, look what she's doing with the little bit she has. I know when I upgrade her, she's gonna even take care of this gift I'm going to give her, right? If you have flowers in your home all the time, someone can say, wow, she loves flowers. She has this cheap flowers from the grocery store. Let me get her an entire arrangement. You see, give yourself as much as you're capable of, a small taste of the standards you crave, that you want, so that people can either match you there, meet you there, or leave you alone. For me, if I'm dating again, back to my standard, again, I have really high standards, so that's it. I get it. This is why I'm single. But anyway, if I have fresh flowers in my house all the time, if I'm dating someone for a few dates, a couple of days, and they don't get me flowers, what's the point of your presence, right? But maybe they're getting me something. Maybe they're helping me financially. I can just get myself flowers out of that money, or maybe they're doing something for me and providing in other ways, so you can substitute. So you can, as a lady, you can use your intellect to substitute what is a necessity and what is not. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Your standards are your standard. As long as you understand and cultivate them, that's all that matters, okay? Or let's say that you say, okay, I only want dates in a helicopter. Well, have you ever been in a helicopter? If not, okay, maybe you cannot afford, going renting a helicopter for a couple $100. Maybe you can go on YouTube and start looking at photos of helicopters. So you can say, oh my God, I was looking at photos in this Robinson 22 or this Robinson 44 or this whatever helicopter, even if it's an experimental, whatever, and it's so beautiful. It's my dream helicopter and I hope to be in it someday. And even you saying that out loud, doing that research, God will bring it to you. God will bring you into it, okay? But you have to give yourself a small dose of what you're asking for, so it doesn't seem like you have these weird delusions and you can't even be the reciprocal to receive it or provide a modicum, a small amount of it, of a goodness of it to yourself, right? It's not fair to the person you're demanding it from, or nor is it fair for you, right? Because what if you don't like it? What if you say, I want flowers, I want men who get me flowers, and you're allergic to tulips? If you demand flowers, you are not used to getting yourself tulips or roses. If the guy buys you the tulips, you might die from an okay, maybe not die, but you might get really sick or hurt from that allergic reaction. You see what I mean? But if you treat yourself, give yourself a small amount of it, whatever he brings into your life is augmented. You see? And yeah, so a man can only come and augment you or leave you alone. If he gives you less than you give yourself, that will make you run for the hills. You're gonna say, oh no, I make myself tea every day. I put honey in it in fine china. So a coffee date in a paper cup doesn't make sense, okay? And that's the last point of this video. Point number 5 is have tact and have diplomacy, right? There is a way of asking for something that people will respect, right? Even the flowers thing. I have never in my life asked a man to buy me flowers, ever. But I could say, I love flowers. A flower could be passing by and say, wow, those flowers are so beautiful. Or they can take you to a restaurant. One of my favorite restaurants here is Catch. So it's surrounded, like all locations. I think the LA location, New York, wherever, Vegas, wherever you go, I think it's themed around flowers, right? So there are flowers everywhere. Let's say you go to a restaurant. He takes you to a place with flowers. You're like, oh, these flowers are so beautiful. Wow, I just love flowers. Or what are you doing today? Are you busy? If he calls you, oh, I'm just, arranging my little flower bouquet that I picked up from the grocery store. He's noticing that you like this thing, right? So you're kind of asking, but not directly, not like you're not demanding it, okay? And first, I want to make a point. As a princess, no matter how beautiful, powerful you are, you can never demand something from a king. Okay, so if you say you want this powerful man or this man who treats you like a princess, understand that he also, as a man, he's going to have an ego. He's going to have grandiosity to himself as well. So you cannot come to this powerful man that you're asking for and bully him or talk to him anyhow and say, this is what I want, give me this, da 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 da. No, he's gonna say, who do you think you are, you dirty little person? What? He's gonna be so offended because he's not looking at you in such disrespectful ways. Why are you? So you have to, even if you do that, do some inner work around why you don't think you're deserving of respecting people and why you don't think people should respect you. Okay, so anyway, there's a way to use tact and diplomacy. Even if someone comes and insults you or tells you the craziest thing, ask yourself, or ask them, what do you mean by this? Will you explain this to me? Or, honey, this hurt my feelings a little bit, the way you said that. What do you mean by that? I really like flowers, but it's okay, and change the subject, right? So you're planting a seed in his head, and men are not dumb, especially men who are intentional, okay? If a man can have a business, own a business, lead people, guide people, be masculine, he's not dumb. He can still read the room. If a man can go and make thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, billions of dollars of deals, you think he's not gonna get your silly hints that you want flowers because you see a flower and you squeal around the room and gush over flowers, or a perfume or a purse? You think a man doesn't see the small little leather bag on you and how well you take care of it? He doesn't see that and think, wow, she likes to have nice things. You think he doesn't see the diamond bracelets on your wrist and think, she likes jewelry? You think if he's pretending he doesn't see it and wants to give you the least, take the most from you from the least, again, that should tell you who he is, and you quickly dismiss him, right? But a true person who is looking to adore and respect a woman, men know women, okay? Men understand women. True masculine men enjoy women. So trust me when I say they're doing their homework, okay? A man who wants a queen, a man who wants a princess, is doing his research on how to please and provide for that princess or queen. So just know that you don't have to be forward, so blunt about certain things, right? Again, know how to read the room. Look at videos of how to use diplomacy. And using this diplomacy is peaceful, right? If someone let's give an example, you want someone who is powerful. Someone who is powerful is busy. Do you think he's busy? He's flying from this state, this country to this. He's firing people, hiring somebody, looking at this report, doing that. He's doing all these important things. You think he has time for you to disrespect him by talking to him out of the side of your neck or out of your tush? You think he's gonna tolerate that? No, because you wouldn't. Imagine someone comes to you and demands something from you, like, okay, I took you to dinner, you have to kiss me, or worse. You're gonna say, excuse me, what? But if he says, can I get a kiss? Can I kiss you now? Here's this nice bottle of wine, I want to taste it off of your lips. That's tact. Learn tact as feminine entities, because that is when you learn all these points, this is truly how you get princess treatment, okay? So ladies, thank you so much for watching my video. My break is over. I didn't even get a chance to eat, but hopefully I'll figure it out. My shift ends soon, so maybe I'll go home, or I'll eat it really quickly. Let's see. But thank you so much for watching my video. You all have been so kind to me. My channel is a baby, but it's growing, and each and every one of you, all your likes, all your comments, all your subscriptions, even sometimes my friends, all your text messages, your emails, like, thank you for posting this, thank you for talking about this. This means so much to me. I'm so grateful. I don't want to get emotional. I have makeup on. I have to look good at work. Don't make me ugly cry. But I'm so grateful for everything you are all pouring into me. I see it. I believe it. I respect it. And I'm so grateful for it. Thank you for tuning into the Feminine Takeoff. I hope we take off to better ourselves and to get our princess treatment. Thank you. Mwah. Ciao.